Alright, coming soon on the channel, we're gonna be doing a reaction to John Cena's retirement tour. We're gonna cover the whole thing from beginning to end, the whole run. Every match, the promos, the feuds, the premium live events he was on. We're gonna cover some of the interviews he did, talk about the interview he did with Cody. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. But yeah, we're going to be doing a 2 or 3 part series on the last time for John Cena, the whole retirement tour. And yeah, we're going to cover like matches, talk about the heel turn, talk about things I would have done differently or not done. I ain't going to fantasy book and map out the whole year of what I would have did, but I'm just gonna base off what they did and tell you if I would have did it or why I wouldn't have did it, and why it didn't work. But just the overall summary of it, I didn't like his last run. I understand why he went out like that, as far as I don't get the whole that whole Valor, Star Wars, Star Trek, whatever the fuck that that goofy tap out at the end with the smile on his face and shit, and that halfway sleeper that was loose as fuck. You know what I mean? And we ain't gonna get into all that right now. Once I get to talking, we gonna cover everything. Like, I'm gonna just put out, pardon me, I'm just gonna put my entire feelings about just a reaction to the whole thing. I'm going to react to the entire thing. I ain't going to leave no page unturned. I'm going to talk about everything from him being the Intercontinental Champion for 2 weeks to him turning heel and then just turning back babyface. Just, some of the lackluster matches, the nothing matches with the Ron Cenas and the... Yeah, it was really goofy. The getting squashed by Brock. Like, a lot of this shit didn't make any sense. Him not being there for go home shows. A lot of the promos was goofy. It's a lot to cover. So this is just a video of me trying to keep the channel fresh and the engagement going and let you guys know, man, that this ain't one of those lackluster channels. I got a lot of stuff going on outside of this thing, so I'm trying to keep it funky, keep it fresh, and keep it positive, and keep it on entertaining, and keep it on a level where nobody don't talk about wrestling quite the way I talk about it. So subscribe, hit the bell, man, like, share, all of that cool stuff that you guys do for the guys that you like. You know what I mean? So keep me in that category too. But anyway, yeah, we're going to cover all of that. And like I said before, I didn't like it, But I'm not shedding tears because John Cena not going to be there tomorrow. And what I was saying was, I'm not mad at him losing his final match. I didn't like the tap out, I felt like if he had to lose, he could have just went out on his back. And if you had to do the whole, well, he ain't never give up. I mean, how the fuck do you have a guy whose whole mantra, his whole career, his whole slogan, everything he built on and based on is never give up. Never give up. And then his final match, he give up. Even though he had gave up before, he gave up on the fans when he did the whole heel turn, which was also bogus. So yeah, man, like I say, when I really get to talking about this shit, and it'll probably be, don't quote me, but I'll try to well, fuck it, it'll be this weekend. That'll be the time I had to actually actually engaged. Like, I want to do it the way I want to do it. You know, I want to get my headset on, get my microphone. I want to get in my element and give you guys like an hour and a half for some content, man. You know, we'll chop it up all about John Cena and his final run. Also, you guys got to stop saying that Gunther retired John Cena. He didn't. It was John Cena's final match. Like, he won't gonna be there tomorrow, whether he won or lost. Like, that was it. He had his final match. Now, the whole tapping out thing, that was something, you know. But me following John Cena's career in its entirety, I know that he did a lot of going over guys and Super Cena on guys and kind of holding guys down, and he was known as the like the wall or the Cena ceiling. Like, you hit that Cena wall, like, you know, you'll be getting built up and on a good trajectory, like see Ryback, see Wade Barrett, you know, you can insert a few names there, you know. Alex Riley, it's a few, but Ryback and who the other clown I just said? Don't really matter. You know what I mean? It's a ton of guys. Wade Barrett, I think, and even Zack Ryder. But it's guys who, you know, he definitely had a hand in holding them down, and even Mr. Kennedy getting him fired from the company. So, I mean, John Cena ain't all squeaky clean. We're going to get into that, too. We'll get into the whole rapper thing, the thugonomics shit. Like, bro, that's why I said it's going to be like a 3-part thing. Like, by the time it's over, you're going to be wondering, do I like John Cena or not like him? Because I'm going to tell the truth about him. And I'm going to delve into shit that most people ain't delved in, or they just left it alone because, you know, he changed his character from thugonomics to the whole Marine thing. And that's when a lot of guys like me actually stopped liking him. You know what I mean? When he started running to the ring and doing that salute and wearing those bright-ass colors and talking about he was the Marine and hustle, loyalty, respect, and never give up. And it was like, oh, they trying to goddamn cartoon this dude and Hulk Hogan this guy. And yeah, I didn't like it, man. So I was, you know, the adults in the room would boo the shit out of them. The kids, you know, they didn't quite understand this sanitized thing they was getting. And it was getting force-fed to you, man. We're going to talk about all that shit. That's why I said, man, even this preview to the video taking too goddamn long. You know what I mean? So I know this shit going to be like at least a 3-part thing, but it's going to be cool to get into, man. So, what I will keep trying to get to so I can end this fucking video, man. He held a lot of guys down and didn't do guys right and didn't do jobs. So, on his way out, he putting everybody over. You know, that's the guilt in him. But to me, somebody, and that somebody being Paul Levesque, Trips, he got to step in and say, nah, man. You know, you going out on top, man. You big match John. You know what I'm saying? Like, he lost too many matches on the final run. Squashed by Brock Lesnar, which made no sense. Lost to Dominic Mysterio with a bunch of fuckery in the match, which I was fine with Dom going over. He should always, like, on your way out, always put over new talent. So Dom the only guy that I think he should have lost to be honest. Even Gunther 40, he not new talent. He new to the world of WWE. But a 40-year-old guy, I think I need to end the video because I'm going to get into so much shit that it's like, because even with LA Knight, man, they saying that that's the reason they won't give him the ball. But fucking Gunther in his 40s, so, man, y'all tell me. But anyway, man, coming to the channel later this week, we got this 3-part series coming. all about the last time the final the final run for Big Match John and John Cena. Called it a career. And, honestly, I don't miss him in the sense of like, who really could miss the brother when in the last like 5 years or so, he was hardly there, you know what I mean? He come in, he have a nothing match, the Austin Theory, the Solo Sequoia. He lose and then he go back to Hollywood and make the movies, what he really wanted to be doing. So, we'll get into it about Big Match John, and you guys can like, comment, subscribe, share, and we'll chop it up.